President Bachelet, thank you for your words and for your warm hospitality that you've shown to me and my wife on our very first visit to Chile. It's a great honor to join you here at the historic La Moneda Palace. So thank you again. I'm here today on behalf of the President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump, to reaffirm to you and the people of Chile the strategic partnership and valued friendship between the United States and Chile. Madam President, Chile is a beacon of freedom in the Western Hemisphere, and the United States of America is proud to call you our partner in prosperity and security, and we are proud to call Chile our friend. Under President Donald Trump, the United States will always put the security and prosperity of America first. But as I hope my presence today demonstrates, America first does not mean America alone. As President Bachelet and I discussed today, the security and prosperity of our two countries are deeply intertwined and have been so for generations. Just over 4 decades ago, Chile reoriented its economy on a free market foundation. The result was nothing short of extraordinary, the miracle of Chile. Millions rose out of poverty, living standards soared for the Chilean people, and Chile's embrace of free markets ultimately gave rise to a free society overall. And today, Chile is a flourishing democracy with a flourishing free market economy. Chile's continued success is inspiring, and Madam President, your country's excellent example has moved your neighbors across Latin America to enact their own market-based reforms to spur growth and generate prosperity for their citizens. Your example shines for all in the Western Hemisphere to see, and it's an honor to be with you today. And Chile's embrace of freedom has brought this country into a closer relationship with the United States. In fact, Chile is the only Latin American nation to participate in the U.S. visa waiver program, a sign of the high standards that define Chile today. Madam President, as we discussed, under your leadership and that of President Trump, we will continue to strengthen the bonds between our nations, especially in terms of commerce. Today, our two-way trade in goods and services totals nearly $30 billion, with a $4.1 billion surplus for the United States. And the United States has been Chile's largest source of foreign direct investment for years, while Chileans have invested $414 million in our country in recent years, in mining, forestry, banking. And U.S. exports to Chile support some 93,000 jobs in the United States. This is a remarkable story of success, and it stems in large part from our free trade agreement that you just mentioned, signed in 2003. It's caused trade between the United States and Chile to soar by more than 350%. In many ways, the U.S.-Chile Free Trade Agreement is a model of a mutually beneficial agreement between two nations. But, as I discussed today with President Bachelet, we believe it would be important for Chile to take steps to comply with the agreement's intellectual property rights chapter to ensure a fair and level playing field for U.S. companies. We also believe such actions will bring renewed economic benefits to both our countries. Now, tonight I will address two institutions that epitomize the deep and long-standing commercial ties connecting our two nations, the American Chamber of Commerce in Chile, which is kicking off its centennial celebration this year, and the Association of American Chambers of Latin America, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary. There, I'll speak to businesses that are already and are ready to invest even more in Chile and across the wider region. But as Chile well knows, security is the foundation of our prosperity. And Madam President, you know that the United States is truly grateful for Chile's leadership in promoting regional security in partnership with our country. Today, I thank your President for her strong leadership and consistent statements about the provocative behavior by the regime in North Korea. The United States is grateful for Chile's support to promote peace and stability and a nuclear-free Korean peninsula. As President Trump has made clear, the era of strategic patience is over. With regard to North Korea, all options are on the table, and the United States will continue to bring the full range of American power, economic and diplomatic, until North Korea abandons its nuclear and ballistic missile programs. With the strong leadership of President Donald Trump, our administration has been marshaling the support of nations around the world. And as the President acknowledged this morning, we are beginning to see progress in dealing with North Korea's provocations and pursuit of a nuclear and ballistic missile program. But more must still be done, much more. As President Bachelet and I discussed today, the United States places great importance on the ongoing diplomatic isolation of the Kim regime. And we strongly urge Chile today, and we urge Brazil, Mexico, and Peru to break all diplomatic and commercial ties to North Korea. We would especially welcome Chile reclassifying exports of Chilean wine, as the President and I discussed, reclassifying the wine as a luxury good under current U.S. sanctions to prevent North Korea from obtaining these commodities and converting them into hard currency that support the regime. Closer to home, here in our hemisphere, there's another rogue regime, and a tragedy of tyranny is playing out before our eyes in Venezuela. As President Trump has said, in his words, the Venezuelan people are suffering and they are dying. I saw firsthand, talking with refugees during my visit to Colombia, refugees from Venezuela. I heard about the grinding poverty, how families cannot find the food and medicine they need to survive, how innocent children are literally perishing every day from starvation and deprivation. Let me be clear. The once free people